It is true that there can be a lot more peace and mutual respect between communities if the media starts to play a more constructive and positive role. But unfortunately, we often see the media playing a rather destructive role by creating insecurities and fear through misleading information. So, after the Ayodhya verdict was out, a leading Malaysian newspaper published an article that focused on the timeline of the entire Ayodhya episode. Unfortunately, the article failed to cover the scientific aspect of the subject by totally skipping the discussion related to the archaeological evidence. The tone of the article also suggested that India is not safe for minorities. To start with, we should try to understand who the minorities in India are. When countries like Pakistan, Turkey and Malaysia criticize India for the situation of its minorities due to the so-called Hindu hegemony, why do they fail to realize that in India, the minorities are not only Muslims? India has many minority groups like Jains, Sikhs, Buddhists, Christians, Parsi, Jews, etc. So, when these countries claim that India is not safe for minorities, who are they referring to? Are they referring to Buddhists, Jews, Parsi or Jains? Or are they only referring to Muslims? And if they are referring to only Muslims, then why are they sidelining other non-Muslim minorities? This needs to be clarified first. Second, if India really believed in majoritarianism, then all India minorities would have felt threatened. But certainly, that does not appear to be the case. That is why this whole approach to malign India by oversimplifying its minorities sounds very agenda-driven. Also, why do we not hear other Indian minorities like Parsi, Jews or Buddhists complaining about intolerance, majoritarianism and the so-called Hindu hegemony? Why? As far as the Ayodhya verdict is concerned, the article in the Malaysian newspaper indicates that the Muslim group is unhappy. But again, it fails to give any specific information. Also, does it not sound weird that foreign Muslims are trying to represent Indian Muslims? Indian Muslims have the ability to speak for themselves, and in Ayodhya case, they have done it very well. For instance, the UP Sunni Central Waqf Board has already welcomed the Supreme Court verdict and has made it clear that it will not ask for a review. It should also be noted that Iqbal Ansari, the son of the oldest litigant in the case, has expressed his satisfaction with the Supreme Court's decision. In addition, even Ajmer Dargah has welcomed the Supreme Court decision on the Ayodhya dispute. Now let's talk about another Indian Muslim, which the anti-India media largely ignored. His name is KK Mohammed. The Supreme Court verdict was also supported by KK Mohammed, who is an experienced archaeologist and was one of the team members during the initial excavation at the controversial Ayodhya site during 1976 to 1977. According to Mr. Mohammed, the most beneficial part of the decision is that the Supreme Court took into account all of the archaeological evidence that the ASI brought forth about the existence of a pre-existing temple. Indian Muslims are already speaking for themselves. Why would they need any foreign Muslim to speak for them? Constructive criticism is welcome, but why oversimplify to an extent that your news starts to sound like agenda-driven propaganda? Why misinform the innocent Malaysian public and spread hatred against India? See you again.